Okay, good. So, can you tell us who you all are?
Yeah, I'm Noah, Ava's father.
I'm Ava,
How old are you, Ava?
15.
I'm Anna, her mom.
I'm Grandma Susie.
Grandma Susie,
Who are
and
you?
you?
Charlie Hughes.
And you got to
Charlie
go on the
Hughes.
bus, whereas your brothers and sisters, or whoever it is, did not.
Yes.
Okay, so who's going to tell the story?
I'll
All of you?
start.
Okay.
Ava was born in 2000, so she was the of the group that had both the thimerosal mercury-based preservatives and the aluminum was coming in. And she was born completely healthy with APGAR scores of 8 and 9. And she was born 10 days late, so about 42 weeks, and healthy as a horse. So she's our first, and we just really enjoyed her. And then at about sometime after her 6-month shot, so I had no reason to question shots at all. I thought, of course, they help. So she had
Did either of you at any point?
No.
No.
No, I mean, it was just, we never questioned
No.
the vaccines until we started seeing issues. And
What do you both do before you had children? What were your professions, or are they now?
we were both college students.
Yeah, we were both studying engineering in college. Is
Yeah.
how we met. And so, and Noah, tell them what you do.
Oh, I work computer security for a large bank.
Yeah, so
I
he's
love
an
how
architect.
they call us parents uneducated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
some of the best brains in the world.
We
Yeah.
met, fell in love going to 3 classes together, and it was physics,
Yeah.
chemistry, and calculus. Our first
3
semester of
subjects
college,
you
yes.
Never see me in. I don't know about you, but no.
No, no. But, and that being said, so we just trusted the pediatrician. And so after 6 months is when I would say the problem started. And what we noticed is she quit bearing weight on her legs. And
At what age?
after 6 months, but at a 9 month, I took her in at 9 months and said she's not bearing weight on her legs. And my dad, who's out with our little kids, he said, Anna, she's lifting her landing gear. She'll never put that landing gear down. Oh, and he would hold her, like guys just always bounce babies on their legs and play with them.
Yeah, you would literally
so-
set her like a baby.
Here's
You
an
would try to
example.
stand her up, and she would literally lift her legs. And I've never seen it with any other child.
No. And so here she is, and Noah's trying to get her at a friend's wedding, trying to get her on the dance floor to stand up, and he's holding all her weight, and she would not bear weight on her legs. And
But she would literally
but usually she'd
lift
even
them
lift
up.
higher than that. But we were trying to get her to dance, and we couldn't get her to bear weight on her legs. And so that was first clue, of course. So I took her in. I looked at the notes, and what the doctor said was, well, I can kind of get her to do it on her tippy toes. Okay, tippy toes is usually a sign of neuro damage, but we usually couldn't even do tippy toes. So that was my first complaint, and then we went back in at
Extreme gut issues around that time.
at 1 year. She got the MMR, or 1 year appointment, MMR, Hib, Hep B, varicella, flu shot. So that's 7 vaccines, 5 being live viruses, which is bizarre to me. I mean, just thinking logically, why would we do this to babies?
Did you report your doctor for doing that?
No, we didn't. We don't even know. How do you do that this far ahead? Like, I just
I think it's still worth doing. I think
Okay.
it's worth getting the medical boards and reporting them, because you know now that live viruses should not be given, the MMR
Right.
should not be given with any of the others. So much we know now. So abuse is abuse. I'm personally, I'm into it.
I followed JB Hanley online on Facebook and stuff, and he said get your records, and we have, and it's shocking to read your records, to see your complaints written down. They heard you enough to put them in their notes, and then they ignore you. It's disgusting. So so then that's when we started. She started having all these colds and lots of rashes, and they were doing hip x-rays because she wasn't walking or crawling. She was doing an army crawl where she's dragging the back half of her body. And so anyhow, so they kept reassuring it in the notes. It says, reassure the mother, things are okay. So I kept going home. So
and we would be like upset about it because it was like the doctor wasn't listening at all. They were just like on script and just trying to get to the next patient.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when we told our doctor about the hand tremors, which were painfully obvious, he made us feel stupid. He made us feel like
Do you still have the hand tremors?
yeah, here you know what? I brought this as an example because it's hard to see.
Wow.
When you we play Legos at our house all the time. We homeschool. I don't know, it's a common thing. So building with just a normal toy, you can see.
And how long has she had these hand tremors for?
Since she was
a long time.
18 months to 2 years old, in that age range. At 2 years and 3 months is when, this whole time I'm saying, we have problems. So we started therapy at 15 months, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. So her tremors are in her jaw, in her legs, and her eyes, all her muscles.
I had 2 eye surgeries.
She's had 2 eye surgeries, one at 3, one at just turned 4. So at 22 years and 3 months is when I went in and demanded help for the tremors, and he said that she just has anxiety. I said, anxiety? Yeah, she just has anxiety. She was, at that time we had another baby, but she was an only child, had been breastfed through 15 months old. I was a stay-at-home mom, and she had anxiety. So those are the type of stupid things pediatricians say.
Well, do we talk about, I mean, when we had extreme gut issues.
Yes.
Extreme, like the most runniest diarrhea you've ever seen. And
Water
it was
diarrhea.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and our friends from Thailand sent us a bib for her, a baby bib, that said Captain Pooh with Winnie the Pooh on it, because she was known as the baby in our friend group that had the grossest diapers.
It was really one incident at a restaurant that really...
Right,
yeah, you're right.
It was our normal that they saw at a restaurant.
They saw it once, and so they weren't trying to be offensive or anything.
No.
Just,
they're our dear friends.
Yeah, they're our dear friends. But it was just that outrageous that, I mean, none of our other kids ever had that.
Oh, no.
And it was for an extremely long period of time, and you would go to the doctors with that information, and they have no answers at all.
Yeah.
Also, I used to wake up in the middle of the night screaming.
Yep, every 2 hours.
Do you remember why you were screaming? Were you in pain?
I just wake up.
She used to, one of her things that was really surprising, she used to say, "Mom, my hips hurt." And she was, let's say, 2 or 3. And a baby at that age doesn't know what their hips are, except for I think she needed to learn that in some ways, hands, knees, and toes. All those types of words. She knew what her hips were because they hurt. And I remember thinking, your hips hurt? What do you do when your baby says their hips hurt? So, when I first complained, so these are just going off record, so things the doctor wrote down is at 20 months, I took her in, I said, she's been having 2 weeks of diarrhea 9 to 10 times a day. I took her off milk, which helped firm her poop, and he said, I don't think it's milk. And it says in the record, Mom thinks there's a milk allergy. I told her there's not. Just feel like you get shot down every time you go in to get help. And
they make you feel dumb. They literally...
They're bullies.
Yeah, they do bully.
It's bullying from beginning to end. And this is not okay. What's happened to your daughter? These tremors that is not okay. You have every reason to be furious.
When I took her in, so at her 3-year appointment, they noticed her eyes were crossed, which has been crossed for quite a while. So this is just a picture I could find. So this is like 18 months. But the left eye usually turned in. But at 20 months, I'm sorry, so at 3, he said, yes, her eyes are crossed. Sent us to a surgeon.
By the way, don't rush the story.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if we're late. We're late. There's nothing we can do about it.
Okay.
We're late anyway.
Okay.
So just, everybody's story is really
Okay.
important. So, I can
Slow
feel
down.
I can feel you panicking. Don't panic.
Okay.
It is what it is.
we took her to the surgeon, to the eye surgeon, and that eye surgeon did the surgery and messed up.
Wrong eye.
No, she did both eyes, even though only her left one was hurt, but we wouldn't know that. We go to the surgeon, trust the surgeon. So the surgeon wouldn't admit that her eyes were still crossed. So we went back to the pediatrician. We said, the surgeon's not admitting her eyes are still crossed. He said he agreed with us. I said, I want a different surgeon. And so he goes, I'll send you to where I sent my own kids, to the head specialist in Des Moines. So he had sent us to a non-pediatric eye surgeon specialist, even though his kids were too good for that. So we went to her. She was wonderful. She said that there would be most likely 11 to 12 more surgeries based on her symptoms, the full package of symptoms. And after changing her diet, so one good thing that happened with getting her PDD, NOS / Asperger's, depending on what neurologist we go to. Good thing about that was we started researching. We had a word to go off of, because before that we didn't even have Google at the time, but we were researching shaking hands, and up would come. It's a common practice in cultures to greet one another. And we're going, no, my baby's hands are shaking. And it would be, we were not getting, because all we had was anxiety as a diagnosis. So finally at 3, we finally got sent to a neurologist, and they said essential tremor was her diagnosis. We believed him again. And so we went along with that. Thank goodness for the autism diagnosis, because then we started looking to defeat autism now type of things. But that was when she was about 4 or 5, after we were trying to we felt like we're trying to save her life. Like we would get, we're going to a neurologist, they'll have the answers, and then come back in 2 months. They still don't have answers. So that being said, that was a blessing of her also getting hit with the diarrhea and the immune compromised stuff. She was sick all the time. Rashes, ear infections, amoxicillin. But all after her 12-month shots. What happened, the straw that broke the camel's back sort of thing, where we started realizing that movement disorders could be related to vaccines, is she was an early reader, very early, and she found our names in a large phone book in Ames, Iowa, Noah and I's name as a 3-year-old, and that's in doctor records. She was an early reader, and she was reading a book in our bedroom, and she tripped over a lamp. We don't know how, but a lamp fell off of our dresser and landed on her ankle. She was sitting, I don't know, cross-legged or something, and she's reading a book, and I come in to the bedroom, I go, Ava, and a light bulb shaped hole was burnt into her ankle, so just divoted out. She couldn't feel it. So I thought, we're not getting help. We need help. So I called the Essential Tremor Foundation of America and said, send me to your best ped neurologist. And they said, where do you live? And I said, you don't get to know. I'm going to get to that person. And so they sent us to a ped neurologist, and he said, his students said, who said this was essential tremor? And then he came in, he said, looks like cerebellar ataxia. He started poking her with needles while she played with a toy. She didn't have feeling in her extremities at all. She had been choking on food. Well, we figured out now she couldn't feel how much food was in her mouth. So she would stuff her mouth full like a little chipmunk and then try to swallow it. Unbeknownst to her, she hadn't swallowed the previous bites. She didn't know how big her bites were. So she didn't have feeling. And we came home and we researched cerebellar ataxia, and one of the main causes is mercury toxicity or heavy metal toxicity.
Yeah. And also, this doctor brought up the fact that sometimes ataxias may be caused, maybe exacerbated by diet, and so it kind of got us onto looking at changing her diet. And
he said metabolic disorders,
yeah.
And so we looked up metabolic disorder things, and it all fit in with the Defeat Autism Now.
Yep.
And then we met Dr. Stephanie Cave at a Defeat Autism Now, and she said, look into mercury. And so just to show, this is from the nationalacademies.org science thing. So just a national science thing. So ethyl mercury is what was the main part of thimerosal. So the poisoning is speech disorders. Ava has dysarthria. Vision disorders. She had both. I can't say my words.
Strabismus and
amblyopia.
Yep.
Tremors. You guys have seen those. Ataxia. She was falling over and tripping. She's had multiple concussions on ice here in Iowa.
Slip and slide.
She had a massive concussion from a slip and slide.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we could get hurt on a slip and slide on your belly. But she's
No, I accidentally didn't see the slip and slide and I slipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an overnight stay in the hospital concussion.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we're glad she didn't get to the death one. Her left side of her body is really, really weak compared to her right side.
Yeah.
She postures uniquely with her left side. Her left eye was the one that was turned in. Seems very similar to stroke. I can't. She drags her left foot, so her left foot flops when she walks. We're thankful she can walk.
So it's kind of like when I wear like boots that goes clop, 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 clop.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so your hands shake and is your mouth shaking as well?
Yeah. Yep.
What other part shakes?
It's like anything that has like muscle, like my anything that has to do with my muscles, they shake. So anything that uses muscles, they have tremors in them. So anything that uses muscles does shake.
Mm-hmm.
Show me your hands again.
So it's called
It's just
an
not okay. It makes me so angry.
Yeah.
People on Periscope are really angry.
Okay.
But this happened to you. They're really sorry. We're really sorry that this has happened to you.
Yeah. So a good thing is, so we vaccinated her. You guys, we vaccinated her through 5. That's when we finally got that cerebellar ataxia. That's how much we trusted like science, and that's so embarrassing now that we put our parental rights or our parental mindset on hold to trust science or doctors who were obviously mistreating us and not giving us the time of day. But that being said, the awesome thing is our younger kids, when we stopped her, they stopped. So our next youngest stopped at 3, next youngest about 18 months, and then our youngest 2 are don't have vaccines. They are so healthy. They've never had antibiotics. They've never had anything that isn't just resting for a couple days. We do eat extremely healthy. Ava's gluten-free, dairy-free, mostly organic. She was grain-free. So what really helped us with her was we did the specific carbohydrate diet. And what happened was I figured if I'm going to have an ill child, at least she's going to be healthy. And I started researching about diarrhea because she was having diarrhea up to easily 8 times a day. And we would go to like a homeschool group and she would have to use a restroom. And I remember once at the public school where we met, the diarrhea went up the walls of the public school restroom. And I'm searching for like bleach wipes and just using the school's supplies. I'm trying to clean up this bathroom that's not mine and so ashamed. Even though like it's not her fault, it wasn't my fault, but who wants to mess people's bathrooms up? So, and we would go to a small group for our church and a Bible study thing at night, and she would like poop her pants at like 7, but not because she wasn't potty trained. Her body would she was out, like diarrhea would just hit. And so like she didn't need pull-ups, but we have like a diaper bag of clean clothes for our child until she was 8. So
I'm so glad that you've got help though. You've got on the right track.
Yeah.
And you're doing so well. Everybody loves you.
Ava is so smart. Ava is so smart. She goes to she goes to a private high school here, a Mennonite high school. The kids there are amazing. She's got amazing friends there. She went roller skating at a party, and I said, "Oh, Ava, she didn't have a helmet." I said, "How did you?" Like, one friend got her shoes tied and put on. Another friend was holding her arm around the rink, and it was like a group of 3 girls.
I caught myself from falling a couple
times, right? But she's got this group
I'm
of
glad
friends.
you've got
that-
friends.
Oh,
That's
she's
wonderful
amazing.
that you've got friends.
And so another cool blessing is Ava's an artist. And if I would have thought a kid with tremors would be an artist, these are the little, she draws girls all the time.
Can you come a little bit closer?
Sure.
Wow.
The
Beautiful.
good ones are like great. Good.
The good ones. She names them. Sam.
Again. I do.
That's Leah.
Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, basically that's practice. Yeah, so
They're wonderful. You know what? You should make those into postcards.
yeah.
And
Right.
the Vaxxed team will sell them. If you make them into postcards.
Yeah.
And then we'll sell them for you.
Oh.
Do you want me to read that for you?
Yeah.
So she wrote this poem too. She after the Vaxxed bus started, and we went to see Vaxxed in Kansas City. She wanted to figure out a way to express herself, so she wrote a poem. She put, "You didn't tell us. Why? I need to know. Why? Are you a little bit ashamed telling lies to the crowds? Are you? My name is Ava, and I'm hurt from the lies you told. The lies. The lies put me. The lies put me in. The lies put me in therapy. For most of my life. Why? Do you know how many babies got hurt from your greedy business? A lot. You did it just for money? I honestly hope not. Please don't let them hurt more people." So, I'm really proud of her.
Those
She's
are beautiful.
amazing.
You are amazing.
So yeah.
You're truly amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. You are an inspiration to us all. We're really sorry this happened to you.
God knew I would have those tremors, and He has a plan for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. This is the time when they show you how much they love you. Right, there you are, so they can see you. See these hearts here? These hearts are all for you. And I just want you to know that they love you.
Thank you. See him, Charlie?
Everyone's crying with you, yeah. But they love you, okay? And
Thank you so much.
these
Thank
hearts
you.
will go on and for a long time. Oh, okay.
And I'm Noah's Pearl on Periscope, so I recognize a lot of you.
A lot of you're beautiful. You are very beautiful.
Isn't she?
Very beautiful. It's
She
painful
is.
for you to know. Whose mum are you?
Mine.
Yours.
Yep.
Very painful for grandmother. Yes. Thank you.
My mom learned her diet and got a respite
She's
Care.
like amazing.
thing, and she encouraged us to homeschool since Ava was in kindergarten, and so did my dad, and they're both public school. My dad was a superintendent, and my mom was a teacher in public schools. We love public schools, but they knew to encourage me to homeschool, and
We love IMS.
they've supported us a ton. Noah and I get to go on vacations, and people with vaccine injured kids know how rare that is for couples to get to go on vacation. And they keep the kids, all 5 of them. They do Ava's special diet. Every time my mom does our laundry, you guys. She does our family of 7's laundry.
You're amazing. We all love you.
Well, Ava's vaccine injured, but Ava's perfect.
She is.
You are perfect.
She's perfect.
Everybody loves you.
Oh,
Sorry, Josh. Now, did you sign the back?
No, not yet.
You signed it for us. She's
Oh, I
number 798,
I
798.
put my initials on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you should do? Why can't you draw one of your beautiful girls on that?
I will
Oh,
try.
that would be cool.